Are you actively networking and you know you should give before you receive? Have you connected with some folks and are looking to add value to them, but you don't really know how to add value? Then this video is for you. In today's video, we'll be discussing how to add value with your networking and share ways to add value with examples. If you're a returning subscriber, glad to have you back. If you're new, hello and welcome. I'm Luki and I make videos on what you didn't know you needed to know about jobs, careers, and life. Subscribe to stay up to date. Yes, Luki, yeah, you're going through the motions. Blah, 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 in case someone new is watching. Next. Now, let's get on with the video. Alright, so you're actively networking, you know you should give before you receive, and are struggling to find ways to add value. When you think of adding value, I typically think of 5 things. I use the acronym ARXT. Yes, I could have used the acronym CARTS, though I want to specifically have it in that order as it helps showcase the levels of value you can provide. ARXT stands for attention, resources, connections, skills, and time. At the first level of ARXT is A, attention. You're already providing them attention by messaging the person and asking questions about their career history or for advice based on their current situation. Many folks like speaking about themselves and appreciate the attention. Imagine the first time you were asked for advice and your opinion. That often feels good to be able to be recognized and to give back. This is the most basic form of adding value, and it really takes no time on your side. You just ask questions. They reply. Some might even ask for a coffee or virtual chat. Many that you reach out to will take out the time. Others would rather keep it to asynchronous conversations through messaging. And this is the first level of adding value, as you don't really need anything, just some curiosity. This is where many folks end their networking value journey, thinking that just speaking to someone is adding value to them. And at one level it is, and at another level, it's quite basic. So now, take a minute to go on the profile of the person you want to add value to, look at their posts, read them, like them, and provide a meaningful comment or share a message with them. With a like, you might be one of tens or hundreds that like their posts. With a meaningful comment, you'll be part of a much smaller group. With a share, you'll be part of a more exclusive club. Commenting with a meaningful message where you read the post and you summarize it, you add your commentary, or you ask questions about it. That of course only works for those connections that are active on platforms. I had some folks have a virtual chat with me, then do an unsolicited post on what they learned and the value that I was able to provide. Some might share a quick note privately. Hi Luki, I saw your post on blah and really like what you said about blah. Whatever you do, be sure that care is the intent for the attention. The next level for ARXT is R, resources. You found something that you feel would be helpful to them based on what you know or your conversations. Could be anything from a blog post to a YouTube post, podcast, app, course, book, documentary. It could even be personal, where you shared a restaurant, music, show, or something else based on a comment they made in the conversation thread. Other ways to share resources would be to consider a resource that added value to you recently and share it with people, versus having to think of a person in mind and having to brainstorm different resources that would add value to them. One note is don't say no on their behalf, meaning that some folks don't share because they think, oh, they probably know about this already. And in reality, they might or they might not. Say something like, Luki, you probably read this book already, though I thought I'd share it with you, as I thought it would be something that you'd like. This is the second level of adding value, as you do need something to share. Depending on your resourcefulness, that could be a common resource or a very unique resource for that person. The great thing about these resources is that they're often unlimited. You can share the link to the book, video, app, podcast, or whatever with an unlimited number of people. One suggestion would be to connect with the author or creator of the resource to share how helpful it's been for you and you've been sharing it with others. Now, take a minute to find a resource to add value to one of your connections. Look at their profile. What do they mention multiple times? Or look back on the conversation history. What did they mention? What sort of resources have you come across that would reflect those mentions? That could be recently or a while ago. I'll often get unsolicited book or podcast recommendations, as folks that get to know me know that I read quite a bit and listen to podcasts frequently. Or they connect me with organizations that I should share my career or soft skills advice with. I would definitely be happy to connect with those folks with favors in the future. If you can't think of anything, don't worry. I find that adding value is a skill and takes time to develop. perhaps go and do something else, and lightning might strike later. Plus, you'll get better with practice. Or consider practicing your art of conversation to open up other areas to add value. The third level for ARXT is C, connections. This is someone that you feel would be of value to the other person. This could be someone that you met recently or a long time ago. Even though you might think it's just a one-way value add, it's often a two-way value add, as even the person giving is getting the value of attention. But before you connect, be sure to do a double opt-in invitation. That means asking the person if they'd be interested in connecting with your connection, and asking your connection if they're open to connecting with the person that you want to add value to. While it might seem like a formality and might take extra time, it is important, as I've had folks say that they're no longer pursuing that area, or they're currently focused on other priorities and won't be able to help out until much later on. You don't want to be the person that obliges someone to help if they're busy for the next 2 months. Also consider if the connection has to put in a significant amount of work to help that person. The best connections are something that takes your connection minutes to do, or is at minimal cost to them and provides the person that you want to add value to multiple times return. This is the third level of adding value, as you need a connection, which is in more limited supply than a resource. And this is one of the best ways to add value, as you often get 2 for the price of 1, as you're typically helping both parties in the process. Now, take a minute to go through your connections to see who could be of help to that person that you're looking to add value to. As you improve your value-adding skills, you might start building categories of folks who can help with different areas. As examples, someone mentioned they were looking for a speaker for a particular topic. I previously chatted with someone who was well-versed in that topic, and I connected them, and they were the guest speaker. Also, folks will often reach out to ask how I wrote my books. I connect them with my publisher, and there's wins all around. And for each instance, I made sure to do a double opt-in just in case. Before we continue, if you're finding this video helpful, join the Focus Inspired Academy, which is your gym for career confidence. Go deeper into these concepts and apply them through group coaching and to help accelerate your career success. Check the link in the description box below for a free 1-month trial for supporting this channel. The fourth level for ARXT is S, skills. These are skills based on what you've done before, your previous experiences. This is the fourth level, as up until now, you didn't really require much effort on your part. For attention, you were just paying attention. For resources, you were just sharing a link or references on something you were aware of. For connections, you were making introductions, but you really weren't doing much. For skills, you need to put in the work. It might take you a few minutes, hours, days, weeks, or even a longer-term commitment. And the skills depend on you. The skills could be related to the next opportunity that you're looking for, or could be just something that you know how to do pretty well. Do you know how to do a social media post? How about mocking up the posts and sharing with them? These posts might not even be for the company that you want to work at, and might be even better if you do it for a volunteer organization that they're part of, or something else that they're passionate about. I had someone create a series of sample social media posts, and they shared it with a contact they made at one of their favorite brands, and the brand ended up loving what they shared and started them as a freelancer, then eventually hired them full-time. Do you know how to code? How about creating a mock-up for a new website? Perhaps not a whole website, or just mock up some new screens for an existing part of the website or an app. Could you create a membership tracking system or volunteer application system, or something that scrapes the internet for the latest news for their area of interest? Again, even better if it's not for the company they work for and a cause or organization that is important for them. Take time to listen to the contact, be curious of what they're up to, and ask questions to find out more areas of interest. Ideally, these skills could be part of the opportunities that you're looking for, and they could even become future portfolio pieces. Or the skills could be just something unrelated. The point is to help and add value. Need more examples? Think of what people come to you for. Are you good at doing research? Could you do research on competitors or new trends in the industry? Are you good at reaching out to people? Could you find new customers, employees, suppliers, or other folks? Are you good at photography? Can you take some photos over the weekend that they might be able to use in their promotional material? This is where your self-awareness kicks in, and take some time to evaluate your strengths and put them into practice. If you're not good at anything, well, that might be where the next level comes in. The fifth level for ARXT is time. Like skills, it takes your time to put in the effort to look to add value. If you've already provided attention, can't find any interesting resources, don't have any useful connections, and don't have any relevant skills, at the very least, you have your time. Take an hour, afternoon, day, weekend, or even a week to search for resources, develop connections, see what might be useful, or even acquire skills that are relevant. Imagine sharing this message with someone. I was so inspired by what you said, and I've never made a social media post before, but I decided to take a few hours on the weekend to do some learning and put these together. What do you think? Now, replace social media with whatever you feel would be valuable to them, and you have a recipe for success. Remember that adding value is a skill, and you'll get better with time and effort. Allocate time in your week or month to do a periodic value brainstorm. Think of people that you've met recently and the ARXT that you could add value to them. Remember, the more you give, the more you receive. Also, the tricky part is to give without the intent to receive. Folks can often tell when you're giving for the sole purpose of receiving. Take joy that you were able to help out. So to add value, remember ARXT, attention, resources, connections, skills, and time. Let me know if you have any questions or what you're struggling with in your job search or your career, and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on jobs, careers, and life. And YouTube recommends that you check out these videos next.